So, and it's really just a catch up and see where we are and what we've done since the last call, which Claire did such a fantastic job on. So apologies for the last couple of weeks for myself. Haven't been engaged as much as I could have been, but that's been some family situations that I've had to deal with, and hopefully we're past the worst of those now. So so that's been happening. So I understand from the last session we looked at recruiting, and not only just recruiting, but how we could use the holiday promotion to help us with recruiting, and also your skills in colour personalities in recruiting. So what we're going to do now is say ask anyone to say how they've been getting on. Has anything happened, or has anything what have you learned from the last couple of weeks? So anyone want to say something apart from Joe, who I'm going to speak to a little bit later?
Activity's good.
Activity's good, fantastic, Graham. And you've been particularly active with a new idea in your team, haven't you?
Yeah, it just shows you how quickly you can make things happen when you put your mind to it. Basically, I met him online on the Wednesday, signed him up on the Thursday. He did his online training on the Thursday night.
Yeah.
Arranged to meet up with him yesterday and made him a qualified distributor. So.
Oh, well done, Graham. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really pleased. So what you can do once, you can do again, can't you?
Absolutely.
So
Of course.
plan to just keep rinsing and repeating that one.
Okay. So anything in particular that you want to mention happened, or anything that you thought, this was a little bit different? Why suddenly, and I'm not suggesting you've not worked with team before, but why suddenly has this clicked into place? It could just have been the luck of the draw, or what do you think there was things you did differently?
No, I've got to say it's all down to Sir Lloyd Daly, actually.
Okay, so tell me more.
Because you actually posted the Zoom that Alex was involved with, and the timing was just brilliant. It just proves that when you hear about keep going to events because you get a light bulb moment. I've had lots of things said to me by both Claire and Andrew Freeman, upline. But depending on the timing in your life and what's going on, sometimes you hear things, but they might not gel,
Okay.
Just a timing thing. So Alex didn't actually say, well, she did say a couple of things that I hadn't heard before, but she said a lot of the stuff that Claire and Andrew have told me over time. Mm-hmm. It's just that the other night when you posted it, it hit home and made sense.
Okay.
And it really is about the posture.
Okay.
When you're actually talking to these people and making arrangements with them and letting them know this is the way we do it, and that's it. Okay. There's no room for negotiation.
Yeah.
So you can see I'm talking differently now, aren't I, Lloyd, to what I normally talk?
Absolutely. I had actually just written down language here, just in my notes.
And so thank you very much for putting that Alex Zoom up there. I found it incredible.
Okay, so that's fantastic, because getting new people off to a good start is something that we're going to be talking a lot of over the coming weeks and months, because it is actually key to the business. But I just want to stick with you just for a moment, Graham, and ask you, what's your new person's name?
Ian Cowie.
How did Ian respond to this difference in posture and difference in language? Obviously, doesn't know what you're supposed to say, but how was his response? Was there any sort of resistance, or how was that?
No, not at all. He just took it as that's the way it is, So he wouldn't know any different, as you rightly say. So why not start them off in the right train of thought? That when Graham's speaking, he must listen and obey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graham, tell everyone what happened on yesterday, on Monday. He was wanting to extend his day out. Tell everyone what you said.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I made the arrangement with him while he was with his partner the first time I went to see them and signed him up. And I made the arrangement, and I said, look, I realise it's bank holiday weekend, but I offered in different times throughout the weekend, and we agreed on Monday. Okay. So I got all ready and set off to meet him at his house, which was like a 40-minute drive for me.
Okay.
And the phone went when I'm sort of 10 miles down the road. And he said, "Oh, I'm still out. I'm just ringing to let you know I'm still going to be a few hours yet."
Okay.
And I said, "No, sorry, Ian." I said, "We made an arrangement, and you know, when I make arrangements, they're set in stone.
Okay.
And I need people to be the same because I'm doing this for your benefit. You know." I said, "Look, I'll take you off the hook a little bit." I said, "How's about if we just say, rather than a few hours, let's get the business done at 5 o'clock because you'll thank me later."
Yeah.
And so he agreed to that. But I got the point across, and he won't do it again.
Yeah.
I know he won't, you know. But that again is posture and.
Wow. I'm impressed. I'll have to get you to speak to the rest of my team. Brilliant, fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Graham. And as I said, we're going to be talking a lot about helping new people off the site, and not only just new people, existing people in our teams, and what we can do with them, how we can draw lines in the sand and all that sort of stuff, and say, right, let's get you off to a proper footing. Anybody else had any experience over the last couple of weeks? Dave, Soraya, Liliane, anything happened in your domains?
I think Liliane, tell everyone about the op. Liliane and her team had, I think, 7 guests at the Newcastle op.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it was like a good attendance, and I invited again 2 taxi drivers.
Okay.
And yeah, they're really keen. What happened with me, like a lot of people postpone a lot, so I've got this week, like from tomorrow, I've got like 4 appointments for the people from the up. They keep postponing, and finally we're going to meet with them during this week. Yeah. So they were really impressed, and they was like at the end of the up, like they say, "Well, how are we going to make money? We thought it was about that." Yeah. And I said them, "No, Claire, Ian say, go back to the person who invited you. So now you have to sit with me." So it was like, okay, so what is it about? Right. And then, yeah, but they're really keen about like finding out, and because they're taxi drivers, they know that there's no pension with that. If they are not in good health, they don't make money. So it's really positive.
Okay. So between you and the team, you had 7 guests at the op.
Yeah, and I had one of my team member who just like signed up in October and done nothing. Okay. Nothing at all. Until just a week before, like 2 weeks before the op, she went to sign someone, and he took everything.
Okay.
And then finally it was the best friend of her son, and her son finally decided to join. So
okay. Wow.
Because so how easy it was, like say his friend is difficult, but the friend was like, what next?
Yeah.
Because like, going out in cinema, so he said, oh, my girlfriend will be happy with this package and everything because the gourmet card. So I was like, yes. So the son wanted to join straight away.
Cool.
Just waiting to have his pay, and then he will join this at the end of this month.
So what we will be doing in the future is talking about invitation to ops. So I've made a note that you're the person to speak to about invitation to ops, because I heard many years ago somebody say the only thing you need to be able to do at this business is invite someone to an op, and if you got good at that, that's all you ever have to do, because the op then does it for you. So I've made a note on that you're the expert at inviting to ops. So we'll do a call on that, because I can't get anyone to ops. I mean,
Lloyd, I'm with you there. I find it really difficult.
It's to the point I actually don't invite people to ops. I invite them to coffee on the evening of an op. So I don't tell them that it's an op. So I invite them to coffee at 7 o'clock. No, I invite them to coffee at 7 o'clock. We have our meeting. And I said, by the way, we've got a presentation. You can stay for that, or you don't have to. And that's that is. But we're going to come back to that. But well done, Liliane. And you know, part of what we're doing here is all about learning experience and the activity and stuff like that. So even if it's not turned into anything as yet, then it's still worth reflecting on that activity and doing that activity, because that is the most important part, that we just continue doing the activities, because it's the consistency that helps us. So I'm going to come to Joe in a minute. Just Dave and Soraya, anything from you guys?
Just a quickie on, so for me, networking is the kind of foundation of customer gathering and also bringing business partners on as well. And I was probably a little bit challenged really by Claire's suggestion there to lead with the holiday, because I tend not, I just wouldn't do that, to be honest. So I thought, right, let's have a crack at it. And I was very lucky that this week was last week past was my 10-minute presentation. So I was able to put a slide at the end of my presentation, which was just so overtly, I might as well just put you at the end there, Claire, really. But I basically just said that, guys, I'm going on a holiday in 2 years' time. Who wants to come with me? And put it out there. So we usually haven't any questions at the end of it, basically. And to my surprise, quite a few people put their hand up, and I said, well, that's fine. So that's 4 or 5 referrals then I'll get this afternoon. So and actually I linked it to the op as well. So I didn't put it in because we're not supposed to really do recruitment within the actual B&I environment. So in that scenario, I just kind of hung it out there and let a few people bite on it. And to my surprise, I've got a couple of people coming on. But the other thing on the op as well, just to throw in there, that's worked really well. I know that Karen and Keith on my upline have got a lot of success from it, is actually talk about the pre-op as a networking opportunity for business people.
Okay, yeah.
So to actually invite people along for around half an hour before the meeting, for the op in Eastleigh, we just invite people along, say it's a good opportunity for you to exchange business cards with people and meet like-minded entrepreneurial type people in the room. We happen to be talking about our business and what it does as well in that meeting. So stay, join us for a coffee, join us for the rest of it, and then and the trainers work their magic at the front as well. So
fantastic. Sounds good. And I know that idea as well. I've made a note of that because I've been speaking to Karen about that.
Yep.
And that's probably something we can speak to a little bit later. Updating the football, the good news is that it's full time.
You're lucky I'm on the call still. Let's just put it that way.
The bad news is I think you scored in the first 7 seconds. I think they scored in the last 7 seconds. Honours even. So well done. So right, just coming to you. Any comment from anything that you've done recently? Or?
I found it a bit challenging, only because we've had the 2 weeks off for Easter.
Okay.
And I've had, I don't know, I've just had a bit of a, I've taken my foot off the gas and I shouldn't have.
Okay.
So for me, it's just been difficult to try and put it out there and actually get around to seeing people.
Okay.
But I did have, bizarrely, I know that, I post quite a bit on Facebook, but not, every now and again I'll put something up, or I'll put a family thing up for, or something to do with Utility Warehouse. And I had a message from somebody, just a woman saying, I've really, I want to be able to join Utility Warehouse as a customer, but I've considered doing Utility Warehouse as a partner. So when I looked on her profile, I could see that she's a network marketer, or comes from a network marketing background. And I just wondered if anybody else got this when recruiting, or speaking to people who are potentially looking at the business, which is how do you justify the £100? So I just said back to her, technically, I just said, thank you very much for showing interest. I'm happy to meet up with you and tell you a little bit more about it. the company really aren't interested in taking your money. And if you were to come on board, you would see how they give it back to you within the first month.
Yeah.
You know, if you reach those very easy first month bonuses.
Yeah.
But I said they're looking for smart, ambitious people who really can see the opportunity.
Okay.
So, and I've left it out there if she'd like to have a coffee and, you know, see it even more. But does anybody get the joining fee as an objection?
So how would anybody answer that if they had somebody say, well, how do you justify the joining fee? What would we say?
It's fully refundable. Have a go.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I said, look, it's risk free, it's fully refundable, and if you're happy to meet over coffee, I'll tell you exactly what you get for that £50 or £100, depending on how you join.
So Soraya, how did she know about the joining fee?
I'm assuming as a network marketer, she might be in BNI groups.
Okay.
He's heard about it before.
Sure.
So but I don't think she obviously got the 50% discount, because she was like, I'm thinking of joining as a customer and as a partner, but I can't justify the £100 joining fee. So instantly, this was just a random person in the local area. But I just instantly, I wanted to think, and I think because we're such a different opportunity in network marketing, we're very different compared to the other type of structures that are out there. You know, that I've been told of. So I just didn't know.
I like I like what you said about, if you agree to a coffee, I'll tell you all about it. So that's if she wants to know about it, she's got to
then she'll be
that's all part of posture as well.
So
that's good. You could actually sometimes, I mean, I don't have that as much as years ago, you know, but sometimes I say that it comes to training ahead of the start. You've got everything, you've got the support, you've got all the brochures, you've got everything. There's a long list of things you can include, which none of them are specifically covered by the £100, but it all encapsulated. Liliane, you've got your hand up there, so very patiently. So anything?
I often ask them, have you tried to be an entrepreneur? They say yes. So how much was the basic of the money you just gathered to start a new business? They say, well, over 5,000. I say, okay, it's £50.
Yeah, that's really good.
I tell them that, like, have you tried to own your own website and have everything? Have you tried to be self-employed? What is the capital you have to start with it to start your business? Always over 5,000. And I said, so, you know, £50 is just like a night out, or just like a meal somewhere for two. So it's easy.
I think what you've said as well in the past about making it easy. Go, you know, when you're speaking to people, make sure it's people that you know are going to get that is an exceptional cost that is not going to be an objection. So almost find the easy people that get it, and probably have been stung before as well. So your network marketing lady has probably already been in a situation where she has to fork out some money and it hasn't worked.
And that's what I didn't want to. I haven't bombarded either, so I've just left the invitation open.
Okay, fantastic. So let's know how that one turns out and see how that one goes. So that's brilliant. Well done. Now just turning quickly to Joe, because Joe, in the last couple of, do you want to tell everyone in the last couple of weeks, how many people have you recruited in the last couple of weeks?
I've got 5 new partners in the last
6
months.
5 new
partners.
Wow.
So there will be another 2 in the next 2 days as well.
Another 2 days.
I've never done that before, just to put that out there. This is all down to this group and the support that we've had in the last couple of weeks and giving me that push. So
okay, so let's break it down a little bit. What's happened? What, you know, start from the beginning. Where did they all come from?
Okay, so a couple of things. Using the kind of the holiday thing as well worked really well with the first person that I recruited, because she's a young young lady who is hoping to get married next year, so can't afford to have a honeymoon. So the holiday promotion was fantastic for her in that respect. A little bit of luck as well, because she's one of those people that when you meet somebody, you can just sometimes tell, somebody's really keen and really up for it. So it was kind of a bit of a perfect storm, really. She just was a great person for it, and she's also got a really big why.
So where is she going on holiday? What holiday is she targeting for her honeymoon?
It will be Orlando, because she's got little ones.
Fantastic.
So it'll be a family honeymoon to Orlando.
Family honeymoon with 400 UW people as well.
Yeah. One hell of a party.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
And about that time, there was another video that you posted, and I can't remember the name of the guy. I was trying to find it just now. Was it Stephen? Stephen somebody? Yeah. So you put a video on there from him, and he was explaining about how leverage works.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a completely new concept to me at that point in time. And it was a bit of a light bulb moment for me when I kind of understood it. And off the back of recruiting Chelsea, who was my first one, I thought, well, I've got 7 days now to be able to offer somebody else an opportunity to start with a team member.
Okay.
So I literally just picked up the phone and rang my existing customers, people who had shown an interest in the past, but wasn't the right time, whatever. And I have to say, it doesn't come that easy to pick up the phone and do that. It's something that I really have to make myself do. But I thought, well, I've got to lose. Phoned up the first lady, and she was like, "Oh, thank you for thinking of me. Sounds fantastic, but it's still not quite right." Phoned the second one, and they said, "Oh my goodness, we were only talking last night that we need to change. Something needs to happen. Oh, I can't believe that you've rung at this particular time. This is fate. Da 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 da." And I said, "Look, guys, that's fantastic. I don't mean to put pressure on you. There's no pressure as such to join the business. But if you want to join with a new partner, you've got 3 days or whatever it was left at that point to do it." Okay. And within a couple of hours, they phoned back and said, "We've signed up. We've done it."
Okay.
Hey.
And then that encouraged me to ring another customer and say,
so you got now 2 to give away.
Yeah. So and so it went on. So 3 of them were existing customers. 2 more were existing customers. Another lady, very similar to what Soraya was saying about Facebook. I've managed to pick somebody up from Facebook. She came to see me today. She never had a clue about Utility Warehouse. She came to see me today. She signed as a customer and a partner. And I've got 2 other people waiting in the wings now who are going to take on that change. So I'm hoping by the end of this week I'll have 7 in that line.
Wow. Fantastic. Well done, Jo. Well done.
Believe it.
Is anybody using the cards, Jo? Have you used the cards with anyone?
Yes. Yeah. I've used, so on the people I didn't know, I've used those little cards. And I gave one to somebody. So I've learned a lesson tonight. I gave one to a lady in a petrol station tonight because she was amazing. Just what she was doing. I was just like, wow, she'd be superb. What I didn't do is ask her for her number, and I kicked myself about that. But I left that card with her. She may or may not. But
sometimes that's good, because I've done that in a petrol station with somebody, and they were really keen. They were like, "We're not allowed to give the details out."
Okay,
we're not allowed to. So, but your number would be on that card, and if she's
my
really,
number's on the card. Literally did it very, very quickly, but used the money presentation one so that she could just see what was involved. And the other thing that's been brilliant about the guys who have been joining recently, very similar to what Graham said. So my first lady, Chelsea, joined on the Monday, did online training on Tuesday, classroom training on a Wednesday, signed up customer on the Thursday, another one on the Monday. So she's now QD.
Wow.
She's amazing. She's hilarious. Lloyd's had a small experience her on another call. She is such a sweetheart. She's just amazing. She's just so full of energy, and it's brilliant. But I did a car boot sale at the weekend on Easter Sunday, but did it as a wham and offered all of those new ones a chance to come down and get some experience, and they all come down. They all did an hour each. They've all gone away with appointments from that. It was just amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I just said to my husband, it just all seems a bit too good to be true at the minute. You know, what's going on? But yeah, it's great.
You know, continue riding the wave. I do just want to touch on one thing, because I know when you recruit a lot of people, they're all different personalities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you consciously use any of the skills you've learned about colour personalities and stuff like that to maybe just how did that work for you if you used it?
Yeah, it's definitely helped. It's definitely helped because they are all completely different characters, different ages, different backgrounds, and certainly, yeah, having a knowledge, you know, not huge knowledge, but a good understanding of the different colours is definitely helping me in my approach with them. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Some I can be quite direct with some, and I know what really encourages some, you know, is the money and stuff, and the other stuff for some of them is not quite so much. So yeah, that's definitely helped. That's definitely given me a bit of a heads up, so that I can deal with them, you know, on a level that they really relate to. That's definitely helped. Okay. And the other thing I did as well, so I've been trying to get more and more referrals into the business. So I've been trying to recognise, I've got a lot of friends who give me referrals who aren't yet customers and family, for whatever reason. So, you know, I'm just, although people who are customers get rewarded by UW, you know, I'm trying to acknowledge people who aren't necessarily customers, and I just gave away like a little chocolate bunny, just a little thing to thank them at Easter. So, but that's brought in another referral since then. So it's those little things that I don't know, people just seem to be responding to it at the minute.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Just trying anything. But my confidence is just so different just since joining this group. It's incredible. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's just the start of it. You've got some new IDs, and you need to be watching Alex's video on loop now, and just to get them all off to a start and get them recruited and duplicated, and that will happen over the next weeks and months. Is there anybody actually on the call who wants to ask Jo a question about what she's done or how she's done it, or any particular aspect of that? Now's a good time to get those questions out.
Yeah, just a couple of things. How do you schedule that 3-tier thing? I know just a minute ago Graham was saying the same thing, that you book you've done their online training, you get them booked onto the getting started training, and they've got their first appointments. What do you use? What system do you use to guarantee that happens? I've got people that are so enthusiastic to sign up, and then gets to online training. Well, that's going to take me 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and then it just drags over the course of the next week, and then you lose your momentum. How do you get them straight in the mix?
Yeah, it doesn't happen with all of them, and it hasn't happened up to kind of now that's been more difficult. So whether it's me who's a little bit different now, and, you know, kind of suggesting more to them, this is what you need to do, let's do this and this. I am providing information for people now, so when I know I'm seeing somebody, I'm going armed with when all the getting started training skills are and where they are locally, which one would be best for you, let's have a look at this. So I'm kind of coming a bit more pre-armed with stuff for them. We're having a team meeting, like our own sort of group team meeting, because I've got people starting at the same time. They're saying, so I could go to training with so-and-so, and I could go with so-and-so, so that rather than going on their own, they're thinking they're going with somebody else. So having an influx like I've just had, that's working quite well, because they all want to go off and do stuff together as well. But I guess, you know, at the end of the day, it's got to be down to the person as well to want to be able to do it. My girl, my first one who did it, you know, she's really driven by the results. She wants the money, she wants the holiday, so she will do whatever it takes to get there. The others, you know, I've had a couple of others still book on and still do it, which is great. And yeah, I think it's a little bit of luck in there as well.
Can I just add something? We can speak freely in here, can't we?
Yes, of course.
Because I've started to tell a little white lie.
Oh no!
I admit it. I'm fessing up. Basically, with Ian, I said to him, you know that with £100 and the £50, that you've got a 100% refundable guarantee on it.
Yeah.
When you ask me about how soon you need to get your online training done, it's like now.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of 3 days, but you know you'll fall outside of that if you take any longer. So I'm telling a white lie, but it gets the job done.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Graham? I'd say exactly the same thing to everybody I've recruited. I tell them they have 48 hours to do their online training.
Uh-huh.
I know that might be a bit thing, but I've always said it. 48 hours to do your online training, and we'll try and get you into classroom training within 7 days.
Yeah.
Can I just also say something I've done this time that I've never done before either, is I'm talking to the new recruits about them starting to recruit.
Yeah.
And so I have actually been saying to them, if you can get this done in 7 days and it would mean for if your new recruits do that to you, you would get holiday points and and then they're saying, oh, so if I do that, you'll get some points too. Yeah. That would be amazing. So they're kind of then feeling a little bit of like a little loyalty as well, I think, that, oh well, if I do that in 7 days, you're going to get some. Yeah, absolutely fantastic, just as yours would if you did them. I've not done that before. I have never said to anybody, oh, if you do that in that time frame, I will get rewarded. So I'm trying to do it in a way to explain to them that when you recruit somebody, if they do it in this time frame, you'll get rewarded for it. So then they're working out that I will get rewarded if they do. Yeah. And that seems to have been quite positive, actually. So they're like, oh, great. Cool. So that will help you out. Brilliant. So
yeah. Okay. So that's sort of paying it down and passing on the benefits, and it's almost like getting their points started, and especially if they've come off the back of a holiday, right, let's get you those points straight away. This is how you can hear the big points. Let's recruit some people. Fantastic. Unbelievably, we've got less than 5 minutes to go on this. So I do want to just wrap up with a couple of things and set the tone. Recruitment is something that is going to be a continuous thread throughout what we do, because if you want to, the best way to learn about anything in this business is to recruit lots of people, and then you're going to get lots of different experiences and such like. So that's going to be continuous, and what we're now going to be sort of looking on, especially as there's been some new people coming on, is how we're getting people started in the business. So it starts with watching that video from Alexander and just building on that and saying, okay, let's practice getting people started. Also, what we can do is with existing team members, if you've had someone dormant for a while, I like to ring them up, and let's say I was speaking to Soraya, and I'll say, Soraya, look, I've got to apologise. When you joined, probably wasn't the right time for me. Stuff was going on and stuff like that, and we didn't get off to a great start. What's your view on the business? Should we draw a line in the sand and get you started properly? Okay. You'll be amazed how many people with that script or something like that say, well, do you know what? I was just thinking about this and blah, blah, blah. And you can have coffee and you can get them started just like you get a new person started. Okay. So think about some of the existing people in your team. If you've got any that may be a bit quiet, see if we can get them rejuvenated into the business. One of the things I would want to say, you've all said fantastic things, none of which I've seen in the group. So we've got a group WhatsApp that's sometimes like tumbleweed, if you like, and all these great stories I want to keep in the group because they're inspiring. They're going to inspire others into activity. They're going to teach others. They're going to prove to others that what they're talking about, if they go and actually do it, it actually works. So a request from me, can we start putting this in the group and saying these fantastic things? Because part of the group is about accountability, okay? And you guys have all said that you want to do A, B, and C. So we've got to start putting down, right, this is what I'm going to do this month. This is what I'm going to do. Right, I've got this appointment. So we can keep each other accountable. one of the things that we all said we were going to do as part of our activity is to qualify for the holiday. So at the end of the month, I'm going to post up my holiday tracker with the points I've done this month. Okay, and you guys do the same. We want to keep each other accountable, and not so we can bash people around the head. It's so if people are struggling, we can give them the support and help them through and say, okay, yeah, let's get back into activity. Let's get back into the basics. Let's get back to just doing appointments, because that's where it all starts. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic. So that's all for this week. Brilliant activity. We're going to continue the thread of recruitment. I'm going to throw a couple of things else in there towards the end of the month and the beginning of May. But we've got 7 to 10 days left of this month. So we want to really end of the month with you and your teams really driving the activity and doing the appointments and such like. But continue the work. Let's see it in the WhatsApp groups, and let's see your businesses continue to grow. So that's it for this evening. Thanks for coming on. I will put this recording up, and we'll speak to you very soon. So good night, and enjoy the rest of the month.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.